Yesterday, I did a video where I analyzed 42 S&P dividend stocks and ranked them in accordance with their yield, their historical growth of that yield, the safety of that yield, and then also the growth of the stocks to give us a look at what is a safe dividend and where should we put our money for dividends. Now what I want to do is take that same list of 42 stocks and bring it down to 10 and say this is somewhere where I'd be willing to put my money, not only to generate a monthly income, but also historically to show that I would also gain some growth. So I'm looking at about a 4% annual dividend and about a 6% annual growth rate.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
So who would this new portfolio I'm talking about that could give you a 4% dividend rate plus a potential or historical 6% growth rate, who's it appropriate for? It's appropriate if you in particular are bruised and bandaged and injured from what we've gone through over the last year, and that is a difficult stock market that may continue to be difficult as Jerome Powell works hard to correct the influx of $9 trillion of relief money as a result of the coronavirus. That is going to continue. So if you don't want to deal with that, if you don't want to wait for artificial intelligence and machine learning to kick in to generate new innovation in our economy, if you don't want to wait for the growth of genome sequencing and genome editing, if that's not on your comfort zone, then maybe you need at least part of your portfolio into a growth dividend stock. So what I've done is take my 42 stocks, bring them down to 10, and said, okay, this is where a safe haven might be. So let's look at those 10 stocks. And what you're going to see is that they range in industries from oil and gas to banks to semiconductors, food and tobacco. You've got a good diversification, even some pharmaceuticals in there. And looking at them, you'll see in the first column, your dividend yield ranges from a high of 9.52% and a low of about 2.3%, but averaging out at 4.73%. That's a historical rate. Then what I've done is said, okay, what about yield? And I've shown the growth year to date for these 10 stocks with a high here again of 13.55 on Broadcom, 12.1 on Morgan Stanley, and then a low of a -7 on a pharmaceutical stock, AbbVie. And so it's a diversification, but gives you an average annual return year to date of 5.8%. I then took that out and said, okay, let's look at the growth over the last 5 years. And you can see a high growth of 147%, again from Broadcom, and a low of a negative 28.98% on Alta. Alta is a cigarette company. They bought Juul, which is a vaping company, and they had a suit that they had to answer to, and that's what created that 5-year down in return because the stock took a heavy hit, but now is at a bargain price of roughly $46 per share. So, and then you have a negative number also on Verizon of 23, and that reflects also in a negative number in its year to date. But again, that is part of the reason why their dividend is at 6.9%, because the price has come down, and so buying into it now gives you, and I think Verizon has a place in the future. And I think that's the other thing you need to be aware of with the diversification. As we go into artificial intelligence, as we go into machine learning and genome sequencing, genome editing, these stocks will change. Again, then you'll see there are 3 of them that are in oil and gas. So it's not a situation where if I'm investing this way, that I'm just going to put it in and go play golf and go fishing and never look at it. I've got to manage it. I've got to be aware of what's going on in the stock market. And that's part of the role that I want to play, is update these things on a regular basis and reevaluate. Are they living up to my expectation? Are they exceeding my expectation? Or do I need to get out of some of them? The other element then you're going to ask yourself is, what kind of dividend is it going to generate? And I basically said, if I put $10,000 into each one of these 10 stocks, that would be $100,000. What would it annually pay me? And it comes out to $4,712, or roughly $392 per month. Now, my decision then is, do I reinvest that money through my broker into more shares of those stocks? Do I take that $400 a month and put it in my checking account, or do I do something different with it? And that will depend on your individual situation, and it will be different for anybody and everybody. But what I hope to do is continually update this, and this the 42 stock portfolio that I showed you is now going to be put on our Discord, and it will manage itself as well as I will manage it and update the numbers that go in to create the rankings that we have. I'll do the same thing with the 10 best, and I'll do a specific video on it to explain it, and then I'm going to make that available to you through our Discord. I've expressed before that the Discord is a way we support this channel. If you want to come in and just be available to communicate with other members, if you want that, that's $4 a month. If, on the other hand, you want access to my portfolio, my tradings, and these kinds of analysis, that's $10 a month. And then if you want to get into swing trading, which involves Mark Willett, who gives you every morning alerts of what he's considering to swing trade in, and then gives reports to you what the success and failure rate is. He's batting about 87% right now. That runs $60 a month. What is that money for? It's to support the staff and the work that we do. Again, I have explained that, I get paid from YouTube about 1.25 cents per viewer, per view, and quite honestly, that doesn't support what we're doing. And if you see value in this, by all means, come to the Discord. There's a link in the description, and join us. The other thing that I support, if you want to join and support the channel more on a passive basis and contribute to my charity, and my charity is the Children's Hospital, the cancer unit, because of my passion to find a cure for cancer, just hit the join button down below, and you'll be billed $4.99 a month, and you'll support the channel, and you'll support Kerry and Mark and Trent and Drew and the other people that we're going to hire to build out our website and give you more bang for your buck. All right, that's what I'm all about. That's how I'm trying to help you. I would appreciate your support. You can also support by subscribing and and liking the video. Okay, I'll talk to you more about this tomorrow.